In early 1959, a search party in the Siberian taiga stumbled upon a gruesome scene. 9 experienced hikers, led by Igor Datlov, had vanished weeks earlier. When they were finally found, they were all dead. The camp they left behind defied logic. Their tent was slashed open with a knife from the inside. The hikers had fled into the pitch-black -30-degree night wearing nothing but light shirts, underpants, and socks. As investigators recovered the bodies, the details grew increasingly bizarre. Some victims had suffered massive blunt force trauma, like a car crash. One woman was missing her tongue. And strangely, 3 articles of clothing were found to be highly radioactive. Unable to explain the sequence of events, the Soviet criminal case was abruptly closed. The lead investigator concluded the hikers were killed by an unknown compelling force. That vague phrase left a massive information vacuum. In the decades since, the mystery hasn't just endured, it has grown. When the facts of a case are this thin, our cognitive attention begins to drift toward the anomalies, treating every strange detail like a vital clue. When humans face an unexplained tragedy, our subconscious minds amplify these sensational details. We build a thrilling myth because it is often more compelling than accepting a mundane, senseless reality. From the moment you process information, your attention serves as a conduit. Whenever you focus your awareness on a specific, strange detail, you are essentially casting a vote to amplify it in your reality. Take the missing tongue. For decades, theorists have obsessed over this one morbid fact, using it as proof of murder, an animal attack, or a supernatural monster. If we direct our attention to the actual medical reports, the truth is entirely mundane. The examiner clearly noted that the missing soft tissue was a post-mortem change, the natural result of putrefaction and decomposition, because the body was submerged in a stream of melting snow. The same distortion happens with the radioactive clothing. It sounds like undeniable evidence of a covert weapons test. Our subconscious mind lacks an intentional filter. It eagerly absorbs whatever data feels the most intriguing, skipping right over the boring contextual variables in favor of a sci-fi narrative. The crucial, often ignored context is who those clothes belong to. 2 of the specific hikers wearing the contaminated gear previously worked at top-secret Soviet plutonium and nuclear production facilities. The trace radiation came directly from leftover workplace dust, leaving behind a completely ordinary detail stripped of its original context. The enduring legend of Dead Mountain grew from a public that selectively engaged with eerie anomalies while actively ignoring the rational variables that explain them. The broader culture around us dictates what our subconscious absorbs. We blend the factual reality in front of us with the prevailing anxieties of the era. Around the time the hikers vanished, numerous witnesses in the region reported seeing strange glowing fireballs moving across the night sky. We have to place those sightings in their 1959 context. At the height of the Cold War, the Soviet Union was aggressively testing new aerial technologies and launching rockets, turning the night sky into a theater of unidentified lights. To understand what actually happened, we have to practice selective engagement. We must consciously withhold our attention from the irrelevant, noisy data that clouds our judgment. By choosing to ignore the UFO sightings and the rumors of KGB cover-ups, we direct our focus back to the physical snow on the mountain. When we do, we see 9 sets of footprints walking away from the tent, descending the slope in a calm, orderly fashion. Stripping away decades of collective imagination leaves us with only the immediate physical present, and that present holds the raw, tragic truth of the Dyatlov Pass. The catalyst for the disaster started right inside the tent. The group leader had built a custom metal stove. It appears that after they dismantled the exhaust pipe for the night, the embers accidentally reignited, rapidly filling the cramped space with choking smoke. In that moment, their physical guidance systems, the visceral, intuitive drive to survive, overrode all rational thought. Suffocating in the dark, they slashed the canvas to breathe. Some of the group were intoxicated, which dulled their sensibility to the freezing air. Panicking and disoriented, they retreated to the tree line without their boots or jackets. As they searched for shelter in the pitch-black woods, 4 of them stepped over the edge of a 3-meter ravine. The massive internal injuries and crushed ribs resulted directly from human bodies hitting rock and solid ice in the dark. The unknown compelling force, detailed in the Soviet files, turned out to be a devastating, compounding cascade of human error, panic, and extreme hypothermia. The universe is not populated by monsters waiting to strike us down in the snow. The true architect of chaos is our own unchecked imagination, filling in the gaps of our knowledge with our deepest fears. We built a 50-year sci-fi thriller out of a heartbreaking accident because a myth is much easier to stomach than a simple, deadly mistake. To clearly see the world around you, you have to take control of your attention, ignore the noise, and look closely at the reality right in front of you.